So you think you've got a pretty good handle on how the world works, huh? Well, what if I told you that sometimes reality is just weirder than anything you could possibly make up? We're going to put that to the test right now, and trust me, you might start questioning, well, everything. All right, you ready for this? Let's see if you can tell what's real and what's just made up. Our first little challenge, it starts right now. Okay, first up, we're diving into the animal kingdom. You know how we have these cool, kind of poetic names for groups of animals, right? Like a pride of lions? Sounds majestic. But some of them, they get a little weird. Let's see what I mean. All right, let's start with an easy one. Or is it? You know them, you love them, those big, fluffy, bamboo-chewing pandas. So what do you call a whole group of them? Is it a pack? Maybe a sleuth, since they're bears? Or something cutesy, like a cuddle? Go on, lock in your guess. Okay, you ready for this? It's an embarrassment. Yeah, I'm not kidding. The actual official term is an embarrassment of pandas. I have absolutely no idea why. Maybe it's because they're constantly tripping over nothing. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, speaking of embarrassment, let's talk about an embarrassment of a different kind. An embarrassment of riches. We're going way back in time. You think you know the Roman Empire? I thought I did. But this next one, this completely changed my whole picture of the ancient world. I mean, we all know the Romans were brilliant engineers, right? The roads they built, some are still under the highways we drive on today. Their buildings were just massive, and their aqueducts, wow, just these incredible structures sneaking across the landscape, bringing life-giving water into their cities. And yeah, they used that water for all the important stuff. You know, drinking, public baths, flushing out the sewers, all the things you'd expect. But what was the most insane, over-the-top, absolutely bonkers thing they did with all that water? Get this. They would flood arenas like the Colosseum and stage full-on naval battles. I'm talking actual ships with people on them fighting it out indoors. Can you even wrap your head around that? We think our special effects are cool. The Romans were doing this for real. It's just wild. Okay, so that was pretty epic. Now let's jump way forward in time, from ancient Rome to the super paranoid world of the Cold War, because this next one is a real-life spy story with a twist. A twist so good, a movie producer would probably say, nah, that's too unrealistic. So here's the setup. It's the late 70s. An FBI agent goes rogue, starts selling top secrets to the KGB. By the mid-80s, the FBI's in a panic. They know there's a mole, and they are hemorrhaging information. They have to find this guy. So they create a special task force. And who do they put in charge of finding the mole? Only their best Soviet expert, a super serious counterintelligence guy named Robert Hansen. I mean, it sounds like the perfect spy movie, right? The brilliant agent hunting the traitor in their midst. But what was the twist? The part that's just impossible to believe. The man they put in charge of finding the mole was the mole. Robert Hansen was hunting himself. For years. He was leading the investigation, pointing fingers, all while being the guy they were looking for. You just can't make this stuff up. Okay, so from a secret hidden deep inside the FBI, let's go to a secret hidden in plain sight, but on a cosmic scale. Let's pull way, way back, all the way out into space. You know, when you think about the planets in our solar system, you kind of picture them as these permanent things, right? Just giant solid rocks and gas giants that have been there forever and will be there forever. Stable. Unchanging. But what if that's not quite true? Let's take Mercury, for example. The little guy closest to the sun. Looks like a pretty standard beat-up rock from here. But something's happening to it. Something's changing. It's shrinking. Yeah, for real. The whole planet is actually getting smaller. See, its core is cooling down, and as it cools, it contracts. And the surface just kind of wrinkles up like an old grape. We're talking miles smaller over its lifetime. Kind of puts things in perspective, huh? All right, let's bring it back from deep space, right back down to Earth, and let's talk about a piece of tech, something we all think of as basically ancient, but it has this one secret that is shockingly modern. Morse code. You know, dit, dit, dit. Da, da, da. It just screams old-timey, right? Like black and white movies, telegraph operators with those green visors. It feels like it belongs behind glass in a museum. So here's the question for you.
At some point, people needed to be able to send email addresses using Morse code, which meant they had to add the @ symbol to the official alphabet. So when do you think they did that? Think about it. The 70s? The 80s, when email was getting started? Maybe 1995, when the internet went mainstream?
Nope, 2004. Let that just sit there for a second. 2004. That's the same year Facebook launched. So you have this collision of 19th century tech and the very beginning of the social media age. That just blows my mind. Okay, so after all of this, clumsy pandas, spies hunting themselves, shrinking planets, it kind of makes you ask one big question, right? So what's the takeaway here? I guess it's that the world is just a lot weirder and funnier and more unbelievable than we usually give it credit for. Reality just doesn't follow a script. So I guess the only thing left to say is, the next time you hear a story that sounds just too crazy, too weird, to possibly be true, maybe you should think twice. Because maybe, just maybe, it is.